Straight ahead on Fox 44 News at 5:30, how Texas's new property tax laws are already impacting homeowners. And a robot helped end a 3-hour standoff on the Texas highway. Also, we take a look back at one of the most important local events of 2023.
Live from Waco, Temple, and Killeen, your news now. This is Fox 44 News at 5:30.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on Fox 44 News at 5:30. I'm Earl Stoudemire. Adam and MG have the night off. Texas homeowners are now reaping the benefits of property tax cuts after the November election. Fox 44's Hannah Hoover explains how much you might save in the coming year.
The median price of a home in McLennan County is $170,000. Homeowners falling into this category paid roughly $700 less in property taxes in 2023.
It should have went out in the October tax bill. And so had the bill not passed at the election, then Randy Riggs' office would have sent out a corrected tax bill asking for the difference.
For the homestead exemption, it is all about dollar amount rather than a percentage.
It's $100,000 off of the taxable value. And so if you have $1 million value or appraised value, then you get $100,000 off. So it's less of an impact if you're a millionaire and have a huge house.
The property tax cuts come from school tax exemptions increased from $40,000 to $100,000, and the loss will be made up to schools by state funds.
Because the school tax rate had gotten so high. Historically, 10, 20 years ago, it was more of a 50-50 share between local property taxes and the state, and it slowly got shifted where a majority, like 60% or more, was coming from local, and less of the funds were coming from the state. And so the state has tried to push that back to even back out.
Most districts across the state and tax offices have implemented the change. However, Joe Bobbitt expects some minor adjustments to be made in 2024.
Property taxes in general are the primary source that the state of Texas uses to fund local governments. And so my office, the appraisal district, is the only office in the county that's allowed to appraise for tax purposes.
Hannah Hoover, Fox 44 News.
In our crime report, a Copperas Cove man is facing criminal charges after police say he was clocked going 120 miles per hour on I-14. It started in Killeen when a trooper witnessed a 2023 Lincoln sedan driving at a high speed just before midnight Tuesday. The trooper tried to stop the car, but says it kept going. As it got close to Copperas Cove, police used stop sticks to slow it down, and then a trooper used a pit maneuver to force it to stop. They arrested 41-year-old LaQuinton Lamonte Owens of Copperas Cove. He's in the Bell County Jail and faces a charge of evading with a motor vehicle. In Houston, a truck driver is behind bars after a 3-hour standoff with police. Deputies began pursuing the truck as it drove slowly along the shoulder of the 110 highway. When they surrounded the vehicle, the driver refused to get out. A robot arm even tore open the cab of the truck, but the driver still did not get out. With guns drawn and a police canine nearby, officials forcibly removed the man. The driver appeared to be hurt and was rushed to a hospital. The Harris County Sheriff's Office says 42-year-old Trinidad Cutshaw is facing a felony charge for evading. Also in Houston, someone won $2 million in last night's Powerball drawing, but no one guessed all of the numbers to win the jackpot. The jackpot is now at least $760 million for the drawing on New Year's Eve. The last Powerball jackpot winning ticket was drawn in California on October 11th, when a lucky participant snagged $1.7 billion, and that is the second largest prize in jackpot history. The State Department announced it's giving more military aid to Ukraine, but as Fox's David Spunt reports, unless Congress passes for more funding, this latest package could be it.
This latest aid package is number 54 from the United States. The war in Ukraine is now in its 22nd month. In Ukraine's port city of Kherson, new images reveal widespread destruction, including buildings, homes, and the city's nearby train station. Earlier this week, Russian forces sent dozens of attack drones in an overnight strike, killing at least 2 people. In an announcement from the State Department, the U.S. unveiled its final military aid package for Ukraine this year. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the U.S. will provide up to $250 million of arms and equipment under previously directed drawdowns, including air defense munitions and over 15 million rounds of ammunition.
This is not charity. This is not only something we do to support Ukraine. We do it because it is an investment in our own security.
But this could be the final aid package given to Ukraine by the United States, unless Congress approves the president's latest funding requests. The Biden administration wants more than $60 billion in additional aid for Ukraine. The legislation is currently stalled as negotiators work to find a compromise on border security and immigration policy, a hot topic on the campaign trail.
But I think we need to give them the equipment and the ammunition to win.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he remains hopeful an agreement will be ready for a quick vote when the Senate returns next month. In Washington, David Spunt, Fox News.
Israeli forces are now taking the fight to Hamas, pounding central Gaza by land, sea, and air. The main focus at this point is destroying the terrorist command and control infrastructure buried deep underground. The IDF says it located a major tunnel complex today, connecting a Hamas war room with a mosque being used to shelter civilians. The UN says the expanded offensive is displacing thousands of people who were told to go to safe spaces in central Gaza. Convoys of trucks carrying humanitarian aid, including much-needed fuel, drove through the Rafah crossing from Egypt into Gaza today. The deliveries were escorted by Hamas police. The Israeli military also issued a warning this morning to people in parts of central Gaza to evacuate immediately. Some 85% of Gaza's population of 2.3 million people have fled from their homes. Coming up, we take a look back at one of the biggest local stories of 2023.
And weather-wise, we had a chilly day today. We have even chillier temperatures tonight, even below freezing. More details on that coming up later.
This is Fox 44 News at 5:30 with Adam Hooper, MG Montemayor, AMS certified chief meteorologist Mike LaPointe, and sports with Eric Kelly.